Hello, my name is Elaine Evans. I'm an extension educator at the University of Minnesota and also a bee researcher at the University of Minnesota Bee Lab in the Department of Entomology. Today we're here at Eloise Butler Wildflower Garden doing a bumblebee survey. I've been doing these surveys for the last 12 years, tracking bumblebee communities in the Twin Cities area at different parks all over the Twin Cities. And I started doing them over concern about one bumblebee species that used to be common and became very rare, the rusty patch bumblebee. There's concern about bumblebees. Bumblebees are one of the kinds of bees that we know are in trouble. We know pollinators are important for giving food to us and also for pollinating, providing food for all of the other creatures in the world that are relying on plants. Basically, you're going to get bees into these little cups, which is easier than it sounds like. The bees, when they're on the flowers, are usually pretty occupied with the flowers, and you can just put this around them. Insects tend to fly up. By tracking bumblebees long term, I'm able to see not only what's happening with the rare species, but keep track of other species and their trends so we can know who else we need to be concerned about. Gently with it. You don't have to slam it down shut. You don't want them to get caught here. Volunteers come out and help collect bumblebees for me. They are able to go out to flowers and capture bees on the flowers. They come back and tell me what flowers the bees are using so we can keep track of the resources that are most important to different bumblebee species. I'm able to identify the bees and write down the data, and then I put a dab of paint on the bee and release them so that we don't count them twice. But they immediately just go back to the flowers. So it's a catch and release program. Some people are afraid of the bumblebees being hurt or the bumblebees being angry when we catch them in the cups. And they do buzz and try to get out of the cups as they're in there, and some people interpret that as, oh, they're really angry because they're buzzing and they're going against the side of the cups. But these bees are really just trying to get back to the flowers. Having volunteers come out really helps me to get way more information than I can myself. I actually started doing this just myself, one person, going out, sometimes getting my family to come help me. By having volunteers come and help, they get to see into this world of bees. So there's a lot of people who after an hour of doing this, say, I'll never look at bees the same way, I never realized there were so many different kinds of bumblebees.
Anyone can sort of make a difference with this sort of thing. That's why citizen science is so important. Even if you don't really know anything about bees or about what we're doing in the lab, you can still help out.
This one was on a different flower.
Okay, and what did it look like?
It was a little bit more purple than the bee balm. I actually live in California, and we're very concerned about the bees in California because they're needed for the almond crops, and they're just dying off.
We found close to 50 different bees, and we had 5 different species of bees. There were no really uncommon bees, but it's nice when you can see a variety of bees, bee species, and this garden is a particularly good place for finding a diversity of different bees because they have so many different native wildflowers here. So as part of the Minnesota Bumble Bee Survey, we've marked over 7,000 bumblebees, and we are getting some other people trained in to do these surveys. So I don't have to do them all myself. So what I'm hoping will happen is we'll be able to expand and get more surveys being done in broader geographic areas.
I've seen a number of the orange, the little red marks.
Oh, yep. They're getting out there.
Pretty easy to see.
For more information about the survey, the best way to stay up to date on the latest with us is to follow the Minnesota Bumble Bee Survey on Facebook. So we post all of the events there, and this is the easiest way for us to update last minute if there's weather. So we do only do this when it's a beautiful sunny day like today. They're open to all ages. I've had 3-year-olds out here with their parents diligently coming up and catching bumblebees on the flowers. it's really a fun, engaging thing for the whole family to do. So thank you. I'm Elaine Evans, Extension Educator from the University of Minnesota.